This is my grandfather, Dwayne Nickel. In 1969, he bought a brand new 69 Plymouth Roadrunner, one of the most iconic muscle cars ever built. Despite being much more fit for street racing than anything else, this Roadrunner became the family car for Dwayne, his wife Barb, and their children.
It looks like another bad year for Wile E. Coyote. Roadrunner, America's original low-priced supercar, is off and running again. With a high-output 383 V8, 4-speed with Hurst shifter, heavy-duty brakes, suspension, and more, all standard. Is it any wonder Motor Trend magazine bestowed it with their mighty Car of the Year award? Catch it at your Plymouth dealer.
In 1977, repairs and a gas spike up to 69 cents a gallon forced the Roadrunner to be parked in the garage, where it remained for the next 20 years. In 1997, Dwayne's nephew Tim Keene picked up the car for repair and took it back with him to northern Wisconsin. That's all I ever knew of the car. It was gone from my immediate family before I was ever born. But in 2022, ownership of the Roadrunner changed hands to Renee Lenzner, Dwayne's oldest daughter, and her husband, Scott.
All right, I'm just going to sit here, you talk.
You're the one that has the stories. We were the lucky ones to actually take ownership of the car in August of 22.
August 2022.
So
and we're very lucky and blessed, and I also feel like, everyone's like, how did that go over with your family? You got the car. I'm like, I don't know, everyone was in agreement. Everyone was fine with it.
That was a family decision, and everybody knew that it would be in good hands, and I
we
couldn't
both
be any
became
happier.
good friends.
Every day that I get to jump in that Roadrunner and take it for a ride is a very special day, without a doubt.
He didn't know specifically when we were going to get the car. So Scott retired, and we had our retirement party here. And Scott and I ran up north and got the car.
Yep.
And nobody knew. And I said, we're going to have a special guest. So we had it parked in the garage with the door down. And so when Mom and Dad and Jill walked up the driveway, we opened the garage, and Dad was just thrilled. He said that was one of the happiest days of his life, and he was just so pleased that we had it.
Yep.
And
that was very special for him. We started doing car shows with it, and Dad would actually come with us.
To everyone.
He had so much fun at the car shows, and he would just, because he's got the gift of gab, and he would be talking with people, and I couldn't believe it. So many times I had to bump Renee. It's like check him out. He's got somebody's ear there, and and you keep hearing, hang on, just one more story, and I'll let you go.
Always.
And just one more story, and I'll let you go.
Always. We always heard that.
And when the car show was over and it was all done, he's like, well, when's your next one?
Yeah. So
he had a blast. That was so much fun. So much fun.
Roadrunner for 1969. America's first low-price, high-performance car is back. And this year there's a convertible, a hardtop, as well as the original two-door coupe. There's only one place to catch Roadrunner, at your Plymouth dealer. Go take a look and see what Plymouth's up to now.
I'm having a great time because we're meeting a lot of people and they're all very interested in the story of this car being in our family all these years. And I just love, this is our first time here, and this is awesome that we got in here, and it really means a lot to me because little did my mom and dad know when they bought this car back in 1969, you know, and I was 8, that the car would be here at World of Wheels. I mean, that's just awesome because we had to apply to get in here, and that we got here is just...
In 1948, a big thing for me was that Hot Rod magazine came out, and that encouraged me. I was racing circle track at the time by the 50s, and that encouraged me to think about starting car shows. I don't know why I thought about doing that all over the country, but that's what I did. I had been involved in the Detroit Autorama from the day it began in 1953, and then I took over management of that event, which is, in my opinion, the biggest, best show in the country, in 1961, and ran it for the next 34 years with the Michigan Hot Rod Association. So in the meantime, I thought, gee, if Detroit could be successful, how many other cities could be successful? And eventually we went all over America. I had an office in Detroit, an office in LA, and in 1982 we ran 99 shows. So that's how it expanded, and Milwaukee was simply one of those cities that we thought was big enough to have a show of this caliber. And here we are 60 years later, still doing the same show. That's a real quick nutshell account of it, but it allowed me to meet all my heroes and travel the country, and I had a lot of great experiences. So I still like going to shows. I'm 93 years old, and I don't know, if I die at a car show, I'll be a happy guy.
So it means a lot. So we're here with the Mopar Muscle Club, the Wisconsin Mopar Muscle Club. We're here with them. And it is our first show, so we're definitely proud to display with them and show everybody what our club is about, and let everybody know that you don't have to have all the glimmer and shine, but you know, our car drives. We drive it, we take it on picnics, we use our vehicle, we drove it here, we'll drive it home. So we love it. We're happy to be here.
I'm the president of the Mopar Club. Been the president for about 30 years. The club started in 1981. We've got about 160 members, and we do quite a few events every year, and we started doing this one about 4 years ago every year. So, and we try to get 6 new cars every year, and this year Scott and Renee wanted to bring their Roadrunner in, so we did. So it's a lot of interesting fun. We have a lot of good gatherings, good group of people.
But this is probably the more
Prestige. This is a big show. This is World of Wheels that I think 1962 this started. Has been in Milwaukee and around the United States ever since. So this is a huge, big show, definitely. I just like to say that I'm glad that I'm proud owner of this vehicle, and I get to drive this 69 Roadrunner. So it means a lot.
The Great Plymouth Sale is now. Featuring special savings on specially equipped Fury, Valiant, Barracuda, and Belvedere models. Savings on such extras as white wall tires, vinyl roof, all vinyl interior, and other popular options. All during the Great Plymouth Sale. So for a great deal on specially equipped Plymouths, head for your Plymouth dealer. You'll see, when Plymouth has a sale, it isn't just good, it's great. Just look what
And so we wanted to make sure that this car will always be in our family. It's very important to all of us that it always be in our family. If something would happen someday that, it wouldn't go to a family member, we've already put it in our will. The Wisconsin Auto Museum in Hartford has accepted the car, and they will take it in honor of my mom and dad, Dwayne and Barbara Nickel, in their honor. And we like that because Mom and Dad did like to go there, and it will also be a local place, so hopefully future generations of our family can go there and visit it.
I'm Dawn Bondis. I've been with the Wisconsin Automotive Museum for coming up on 13 years. Well, the museum opened up in 1986, so it's been here for almost 38 years. When it opened, it was a lot smaller than what people will see today. It was 46 cars, and it was all on one floor, so it took some time to get to this point. Right now, there's 125 vehicles on the 2 floors. There are car meets and car groups that will gather at the museum. We just this last year, there's an informal cruise-in that takes place on Thursday nights. So that's kind of fun to see different vehicles showing up.
I am not a car guy myself. I never have been, and frankly, I doubt I ever will be. So as I visited car shows and museums, and I did interviews with people telling me details about their cars that sounded entirely foreign, I wondered why. What is the appeal of all this? What pushes people to build, restore, and show their old cars?
I mean, I've owned the car for 14 years now. I got it when I was 15 and a half. Started as a grandson project. And then it just snowballed into more and more race car. And just year by year, I just make it faster, make it better, more modernized. And it's a lot of sentimental value to me. I'll never get rid of it. Originally I built it with my grandpa, and obviously it's pretty radical now, and it's just to the point now where it's just my toy, my hobby, so.
It's just so much fun. I don't even know how to put it into words. The drag racing community is just super great. We've met so many friends that have become our family in this sport. I mean, my boyfriend's the one that really gave me the full push into doing all of this. I've always been interested. It's just fun. We get to travel across the country. We get to meet a bunch of cool people, hear a bunch of different stories, and it's kind of endless as to what you can do. No build is exactly the same, and I think that's one of the things that really attracts me to it, is the fact that everything is so vastly different, even though it's very similar at the same time.
So I also think it's a great tool for learning between the old stuff that was built and now, which is a lot modern and more technical, and the crude way it was done with springs rather than shocks and suspension. These are very hard to be driven at 50 miles an hour. A normal bike nowadays, you could drive at 100 miles an hour and have no problems with it. But this would be a really rough, crude way of driving a bike. And that appeals to me as being an older guy and enjoying the feel of the road rather than just a smooth road to be driven on.
That was what I had in high school.
Yeah, oh yeah?
My first car was one of these. It was a 78 with a 360. So I had to find one. I found a 74 with a 360. It's basically the same body. The front was a little different. But I had to have my high school car.
Oh, absolutely, man. I totally get it.
That's why I was after this.
It's like I said, it's a window, to the past, and it's a connection. A lot of people feel connected to their cars, and I think everybody's got a car story, even if they don't think they're a car person. Currently there's a 69 Roadrunner convertible on loan at the museum, and that's one several people have mentioned, oh, that was my dream car in high school. And I've taken photos because someone said, this was my dream car in high school, this exact car, this color combination, and I've had to take their photo of them standing next to the car because they just, it touches something, in them.
I've always said, he's such a nice guy. He's such one of the biggest kids I've ever known.
Oh yeah, this car was a toy.
He really was. And after hearing all what he liked to do on the racing, going to Union Grove and You know, seeing the cars race and everything like that.
We did that a lot.
You know, I like to tell a story, but I believe there was definitely an ulterior motive here for having a 69 Roadrunner as the family vehicle.
Yeah.
Because I hear many stories from my wife Renee here about, and the rest of the family, on him sitting at a stop and go light and somebody pulling up next to him, revving the engine and gone. And he would just blow him away.
He never lost. We loved it. As kids, we thought it was a blast. I remember my mom wasn't so happy. She would, you know, Dwayne, you know, and us kids are like, come on, Dad, you know. It was a good thing.
Yeah, that had to be very special, going to the grocery store, picking up groceries, and knowing that you're probably going to get in a race there or back.
Yeah, it could be. Mom and Dad would never have imagined back when they bought our family daily driver car that it would be at World of Wheels. To me, that's what really meant everything to me, is that we were there honoring my parents, and you know, and we won. I wasn't expecting to win, and then we won. It was like, how can you beat it? It's just the most awesome memory, really.
Her dad passed.
I wish he could have been there.
April of last year, and if he wouldn't believe that where that car was last weekend. He would have been so excited about that. He would have been there every single day, talking everybody's ear off on that car. So
yeah, it was a great way to honor Mom and Dad. Who would have known way back then when I was driving out of the dealership parking lot where the journey this car would have made, and the memories, and you know, it's more than a car. It really is more than a car to us. That car, you can't buy that, because you cannot buy those memories. We can go buy a car, you can't buy that car. And because of those memories, it just makes it so special to us.
And everybody else, the whole family's in agreement. They're happy that the thing's back alive and being shown. So.
And we're carrying on the legacy of the Roadrunner. That's what my sister Jill said. We are carrying on the legacy of the Roadrunner by driving it and taking it to shows.
And Mom and Dad saying, you guys look good in there.
And wherever we go, it draws a crowd.
Yeah.
That car just draws a crowd. I wish I could remember everyone we've met and talked to. We've literally met hundreds upon hundreds of people and heard hundreds of stories, and especially Roadrunners. They seem to attract some, I don't know.
People love the story. They just love the story. They love that it's a family-owned vehicle. They just love hearing all about it. Again, I would just like to thank Tim and Amy for, putting the car back together for
our
Renee's
family. And thanks to Mom and Dad for picking this for our family car.
Yeah,
wow.
Very special. Again, anytime I get to jump in the seat of the driver's seat of that Roadrunner, is a very special moment for me. Just making more memories with my wife, with picnics and outings that we're doing. The legacy lives on.
Yes.